It's the docuseries everyone is talking about. The Vow is a look inside NXIVM, a cult that was presented as a marketing company offering personal and professional growth, but it eventually made headlines for being a sex cult, with its highest members being charged with sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Sarah Edmonson and Nippy Ames are a married couple who met through NXIVM. Together, they played a critical role in exposing the cult to the authorities. And I had the chance to sit down with the two of them recently to talk about their experience, what life was like since leaving the cult, and how their marriage was able to survive.
Our commitment is our power. You stay.
There's no good way to leave, ever.
I have to expose what's going on. This has to be stopped.
Nippy, Sarah, thank you so much for chatting with me. I really, really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us.
I think a common misconception that a lot of people ask is how can somebody join a cult? I would never do that. And I remember Mark Vicent, a former fellow member of NXIVM, said once that nobody joins a cult. People join something that they believe to be good and honorable. How do you tell people what your past was?
I got involved with something that I thought was positive. In my case, it was more of a goals program. And it turned out to be not that. And the goals program aspect of it is how they hook people. You know, I got involved with something that was designed to help people become more self-aware, achieve their goals. And it did a lot of those things, and it built a lot of self-awareness. But ultimately, the origin of it is something that is designed to find those people and manipulate them.
My elevator pitch is a little bit shorter when people say, so what have you been up to these days? And I say, well, I was part of a group. I thought it was really good. Turned out it was bad. And when we figured out what was bad about it, we went to the authorities, got involved with the FBI, and he's now in jail for 120 years.
You met in this organization. You got married in this organization. You worked in this organization. And then all of a sudden, it was gone. And I wonder how much of your personal identity and your identity as a couple was wrapped up in NXIVM, and did you have difficulty when you got out creating a new identity?
What we thought we were doing was so driven by this positive thing, and when it all fell apart, it's like, well, what do I do now? And the last 3 years have been taking it down and exposing it and educating. And so now my identity is the person, part of the team that did that. So I don't know what's next, but I think for Nippy and I, if anything, it strengthened our relationship, and we finally actually have the time to get to know each other now, which is something we never had because we were so busy doing stupid stuff. Let's also talk about purpose. The NXIVM gave you purpose professionally and personally, and then the purpose became taking them down, and then all of a sudden there must have been this very deafening quiet over your relationship. How did you handle that?
I think kids ground you, as you probably know. Listen, if you want to do parenting right, it's time. It's investing time into your kids. And if you're doing it right, I think that will transcend probably most trauma that's going on in your life, because in order to be present and stuff like that, your trauma takes a back seat. Yeah. And we live in an age too where, like, ultimately people can Google you before they meet you. And that's one of the things I try not to do before I meet someone, is Google them. And it's going to be, I guess, probably for the rest of our lives, some part of our identity. And I like the challenge of trying to overcome that as an identity and live a even more purposeful life.
Do you find, Sarah, when you talk to people, if you do talk about this sort of thing, that people can in an odd way relate to this really unique experience you had?
It blows my mind how much people relate. I feel like almost everyone has been in a situation where there's some sort of abuse of power, and either they've been hurt, abused, or they stood up, or they didn't stand up, or they've escaped, or they didn't escape, and they're reaching out going, I cannot believe how transformative it is to watch The Vow. The response has been overwhelming and really, really affirming, and also very, I think, therapeutic for us.
Are you spiritual? Are you religious? Are you optimistic? Are you trusting people right now? Where are your heads and your hearts at?
It hasn't hurt my trust.
No,
maybe I'm
that's
trusting
good.
to a fault, and I trust too much, but I think I trust until I see otherwise. And that's always kind of been my motto. And I think my trusting meter, so to speak, is wiser now.
You know, I can smell sales from a mile away is one problem. I think I'm spiritual in the sense that I'm open. I do yoga. I believe in things that are not necessarily measurable. And ironically, one of the things that we were taught was character is not character until it's tested. And our character was tested, and I think we came out on the right side.
To the both of you, I want to thank you so much for this conversation. Like I said, I watched The Vow, and I immediately want to talk to the both of you because I really felt that there was something for everyone to take out of this story. And thank you so much for sharing and being so honest. Listen, we are turning the page on 2020 really, really soon. So I wish you and your family nothing but the very, very best love and light and safety and happiness in 2021.
All right. Take care.
All the best to you too.
See you soon. Great. Season 1 of The Vow is streaming now on Crave.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.